Hey y'all. So yay, let's do some playing. I know that a lot of people need it this week. Not only myself, but I think pretty much everyone I can think of on my list. So yeah, here we are. We're gonna use our senses, and we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about our crown chakra. One of my favorite crystals, selenite, and also the oils that you can use. I'm going to go on real quick and see if I can't make sure that everything's going live. Sure, I have sound.
Make sure that everything.
I've got sound. Let me turn my sound off now and get rid of myself. You know how you never sound as good going back when you listen to your recorded voice? You're like, is that me? Yeah, it's you. But there's more than just you in there. You have a conscious and a subconscious, and sometimes they, fight with each other. Everybody who knows me knows my favorite Native American story about the two wolves that we have inside of us. And similar to the yin and yang, you need a balance. So you feed the wolf that serves you at that time. And I kind of want to talk about that today. I always pull a card in the beginning from my Namaste deck. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you see me okay? I see I've got a couple followers. Hello, Corrado. I heard you speaking Castellano today. Me gusta mucho. Muy bien, muy bien. Which means I like very much. Thank you. And very good. I thought it was really cool how you incorporated two languages in your production. It was really good. I liked it. All right. For me, being so, heady all the time, it's hard for me to concentrate on two things at once. So I do apologize in the beginning if I don't hit all your questions, race. And in my mind, I was just thinking this the other day, and I was looking through my writings, and we're like Mother Earth's battery, if you want to think about it. Without us thriving and utilizing what she gives us to feel good and to be full of love and energy, nature just doesn't flow the right way. So actually, if we are denying ourselves of being our true, authentic, beautiful, healthy selves, we're actually denying Mother Earth. I mean, not that I want to put a guilt conscious out there at all, because in our society, especially in America, because I know I have friends out there that aren't American, we're a fear-based society, and it's really hard to remember that it is okay to serve yourself. It is okay to serve yourself before you serve everybody on the earth, especially as a woman and a mother. You learn that pretty quickly, because you'll deplete your resources and you can't. A quick way to think about it, I think I've mentioned it before, you're on an airplane and they say, hey, put the oxygen on you before you put it on the kid, because then you're both going to go. That's a terrible thing to start this whole thing. All right. I usually come on Tuesdays, and I know today's Wednesday. Yesterday was a really crazy day for everyone. There was so much energy out there. Thanks, Carrie Ann. I love these flowers too. I got them for my husband for Father's Day, and because I think purple's the color of royalty, and he is like the king of my castle, even though sometimes I treat him like the peasant. Some of us need that balance. So everyone wants money, and then that creates the effect in your head where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough money. How am I going to get money? I need this. I love this. I want this. What am I going to do? And then that instills this guilt, this fear, this whole thing. And recently I delved into the Hay House World Summit and listened to a ton of authors and speakers. And I can't remember who it was, but they talked a lot about scarcity, and they separated the word into two: scare city, which hit me like, angel wings in the back of the head. And I was like, whoa, that makes so much sense. When we live in a fear-based society, and it doesn't even have to be a society, when you live under fear predominantly during your day, like you can be an adult and be out there working, and you need these means, and you're one of these people that can't really speak up for yourself. So you just take all that crap that the people give you, and the big man and the boss and the man, whatever, you don't have to be anywhere to be experiencing fear. And I'm going to tell you how you can literally be within all of that and create a safe space for you, a safe space for your inner child. Because I know a lot of people talk about the inner child and this and that, but with all my experience, what happens is, no matter what, when you have low self-esteem, all those things actually come from fear too. And that word I like to separate, which because it becomes dis-ease in scarcity because of fear. Eliminate that. And what eliminates that is love. And sometimes my point is, you are so immersed in it that you can't really see your way through. You can't focus. And so I am here to tell you, you can use your senses, all of your senses, and a couple little things in nature. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to spend a lot of time. And it's all about intention. And I love that word, intention. And, speaking of intention, people always talk about abundance and affirmation. And, you can look those words up yourself and they become a different word for you. So when you read it, it goes into your brain, you filter it, and it becomes something else. That's like everything in life. So let's just work on each other. I'm going off on a tangent again, and I apologize to anyone. I just want to mention that we talk about chakras. We talk about essential oils. Me, myself and I guess. And crystals, my favorite. So basically, let's see. I pulled a card for today. It's actually a really cool card. It actually matches my flowers. Beautiful. This is from my Namaste deck. It says, the blessing of endless possibility. Allow your inner child to be the master for a while, and don't take things too seriously. Have fun and explore the world of endless possibility. Something wonderful is created through imagination and innocence. So back to the 11-year-old child. I mean, that's when we lose a little bit of that because we try and break away from our parents. And that's the personality and can actually run in the subconscious mind and make us feel that we are less than we are. And I like to say the creativity is extinguished. So let's bring out our inner child a little bit. Let's talk about things. So I am going to talk about selenite, which I love, love, love. Selenite is a very powerful crystal. I have many different forms. So here's a piece of, this lighting. You can see through it. It's the purest of light. This is a heart-shaped natural selenite piece from a very good friend of mine, Maureen, and she lives out west. So she has access to a lot of really cool things and nature visually. It's gorgeous. I also have a wand. Beautiful, Carrie Ann. I know you're jealous. Yes, and it is very, very healing. I'll read a little bit more specifically about what it does. A wand can direct the energy that's within the crystal. Selenite is one of the only crystals. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a good view. I know I'm moving it too much. This one actually has its point still, a natural point, and it's actually got a mini little cluster here, which to me makes it completely magical and supportive. It's very healing. it looks solid, but actually when you shine a light through it or hold it a different way, you can see it has ridges and you can actually see the lines. Ancient civilizations and cultures believed they would put their secrets into them and it would hold their secrets. And this is one of the only the molecules in it that actually passes through the blood-brain barrier membrane and actually gets into your brain and cleanses your pineal gland and opens up all of that pituitary stuff and helps you heal and grow, which makes sense why we're using it in the crown. Okay, the crown sometimes gets overloaded with a lot of spirituality, especially my friends out there who are really loving spirituality and are enlightening and lifting. However, sometimes when you're in that world a lot, you need a grounder. You need a grounder no matter what it is. You kind of have the balance of the lower chakras. That's why when I do my sessions and my healings, I always start with my center, which is my heart chakra. I believe that nothing can get through unless your heart chakra wheel is spinning. Ooh, that's kind of like that. Selenite love to all of you. And yeah, literally, I take the point, I move it around. I got this in the Virginia mountains when I was in the Endless Caverns. I'm about to go back up there in 2 weeks, and I'm going to be in Herkimer, New York. I'm going to be excavating some Herkimer diamonds up there. So if any of you are interested, just PM me and hit me up. We can chat a little bit about that. See, I also have one of my very favorite this is a desert. And this one, when I go into my shops, I'm like, I don't need a rock. Honestly, the rocks come to me, but then they speak to me, they call to me, and I'm like, oh no, it's a heart shape. I have to have it. It's beautiful. It also has some ripply layers. Let's see if I can get it up close. Hello, Nikki. How are you? Oh, wow, I see I've got 5 people. Hi, I better acknowledge you all. Have a little sip of my tea. I always forget I'm live because I have all this information I want to get to you guys, and I just feel like I got to get it out there, and that's always my problem is my my throat chakra. So I always work on that, when we're emceeing our shows, speaking of MC, break it down, master of ceremonies. So when I hold a ceremony, whether it's Be Live or talking to my friends or telling my kids I need to talk with them, I actually perform a small ritual or a big ritual before that. I get into myself. I acknowledge the angels. I light candles. What did I do today? I lit some incense and some sage, and I said a druid prayer that I like. I picked them from all religions, all walks of life, all writings. And then I gathered my stuff, and I'm here with you. And I knew that I wanted that I needed this crystal dress from Mexico that I absolutely adore. And I was like, oh, my mother-in-law, her selenite. Oops. I guess I needed to drink that tea. This is her, oh my gosh, Catholic people, what do you call this? I'm forgetting right now. I think rosary, the rosary. So each bead represents a prayer in the Catholic religion, and they, when they worry, they move the thing and they say the prayer and the Hail Marys, Hail Mary, Hail Mary. I'm just not a religious person. I'm very spiritual. I don't really believe in much of organized anything. I believe in organized nature, I guess. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Let me have a sip of tea. For those of you who didn't see our Namaste card, it's really beautiful. It's got swirls, fish, this beautiful, buxom lady has a glowing heart, and she's in a tree. She's formed as a tree. It's almost like her feet are completely grounded. So our crown chakra sometimes gets too overloaded, especially when you're a spiritual person. You put yourself out there a lot, and you keep thinking, and that gets into your head, it becomes a heady situation, and you need other crystals too. You don't just need selenite. I mean, you can use quartz, you can use pretty much any clear white crystal. And also, I've told you, you can just print them. You don't need them physically in your presence. You can print a picture of them. You can wear white. You are a crystal. I mean, honestly, I promise you, you are. So the selenite, I'm looking at my notes really quick because sometimes I feel like I read my reference books. I love to cross-reference, and I use tangible books. And so I pull out of them, and I apologize to any author or anyone that I'm disrespecting by not giving you acknowledgement. So the layers in the selenite are like the Akashic records, and they keep the ancient writings, and they tell the secrets spoken into the selenite. And so many cultures would do that. Instead of writings, they would speak into the crystals. And they truly believe that if disasters would happen, and the future generations would know how to use the crystal to pull it out. And I'll read a little bit out of I actually am going to read to you because it's my very favorite book. It's an oldie but a goodie. Crystal Enlightenment. Absolutely love this book. Crystal Enlightenment. You know, it was written a while ago, but I literally like old and new. I think perspectives from all places are good. All right, so selenite also has the purest white. And as you know, well, maybe you don't, but I'll tell you, white actually holds all the colors. If you hold, you've seen it. So when you see a prism, I know you've seen a rainbow. So you'll see a prism. They're sometimes on wind chimes or hanging in people's rear view car windows, and then the light hits it, and then it turns into these rainbows, right? So that is a pure form of white light hitting a crystal, and then it goes in, the molecules go through at a different frequency, which I don't know the right word, fractionates the white light into separate colors: Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And they each have a different frequency when they come out of the prism. So once the light hits the crystal and it comes out, it spreads out at different frequencies. Therefore, each color has a different healing modality and a different molecular structure, etc. I know I don't want to get too deep. Refracts. Thank you, Nikki. Mwah. Thank you for being my... After my last video, I got some things that seemed like, challenge this, challenge that, challenge this. And my thing is, be a skeptic. Be the biggest skeptic out there. Challenge me. I love that. That's how I got where I am. I'm like the world's biggest skeptic, and I believe in everything and nothing all at the same time. It's like the only way to be. And that keeps your inner child alive as well. Back to my focus. Thanks, Nikki. Hey, Judy. Or Judith, I see you out there. Eric. Hello, hello. Good morning, all of you. Good afternoon and good evening if you're on the other side of the pond. What else do I want to tell you? So, selenite. And if you haven't seen my wand, I know it's spectacular. I'll hold it up while I'm reading. I love it. Rock understanding of what has been occurring in your subconscious mind. It aids in mental clarity and seeing the big picture. It also aligns the spinal column and promotes flexibility. It guards against seizures. It neutralizes poisoning of some dentistry work. Like I know it neutralizes the amalgam. Ooh, cool. Look at that little crack in there that's been shining through it, you guys. Ooh, I love it. And selenite kind of flakes off. It's got these little pieces, so be careful. They come off, and you don't want to get them in your eye or your skin, or you don't want to put them in water and make elixirs out of them, because they actually do disintegrate. So back to what they do. This is not stuff I'm just making up. Okay. This is all documented material that I've researched for a long, long time and kind of knew already in my heart and mind. So also the selenite helps with seizures. It actually works on an energetic level. And you know, the rose quartz, let me show that again because it's so pretty. Isn't that? I'm sorry to say quartz, but it's the rose selenite. Quartz is powerful too, but it, you know, that deserves its own video, as does selenite. So the rose quartz, childhood programming or traumas that are now ingrained in your mind. Oh my gosh, right? It's the perfect way to balance yourself. Hello. Yes. Hola. Wake up. We are crystals. Okay, so let's continue on the crystal path and let me read you a little bit about it here. And hope you can still hear me really well. Hi guys. Thank you for joining me. I love you all. You're all so awesome. I know it's been a tough week. Everybody's aggravated and things just seem to be unsettled, and it's almost like if you settle yourself, it's a ripple effect, and it settles those around you. And I want to be that for you. And you know, there's nothing that says you have to be. I'm saying this to a really good friend last night, that you know, your ripple effect, when you pop down, you can do it the opposite way if you want. I mean, you're in control. You can start at the biggest ripple and go in small. I mean, that's how we research and study, is we start in the biggest ripple and then come back and you know, that's what I consider my own skepticism. You know, there's this big, huge idea. Hi, Rory. You're hilarious. I love watching your videos. You have such passion. Mwah. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. So where was I? You know me. Need a sip of tea. Okay. Creating your safe space. That's what I was talking about. You can do that physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, no matter what is going on, okay? So if things are going on in your, hey, Texas, Tejas, everything's bigger in Texas. Don't ask me why I said that. All right, the selenite also, it can help your metabolism. It helps you spiritually. It helps you unfold almost like a lotus flower, almost like your pineal gland. And isn't it funny that that's exactly what it affects? It's one of the only crystals that holds the sesquiterpenes, I think they're called. I mean, they're, you know, I can't get all scientific and speak those words. It's hard for me because I'm really not a scientist, but I do understand the geometry and the logic and the crystallization. 7 tribes of crystals, 7 colors in the rainbow. Okay. They're all, similar, and they all help us in those chakras. And so the way to break that blood-brain barrier, and I know you're like, what's a blood-brain barrier? Well, within our bodies, everybody in everybody's body, there is this thin membrane that actually filters the blood platelets. And it sends blood to your brain, certain blood to your brain only, and certain blood to your body only. I'm not making this up, honestly. It's pretty cool when you think about it. And I really believe that a lot of this, whoa, the voodoo and the witchcraft and the unknown would all be dissipated if we're taught at a young age actually what our body functions do, how they work, how similar they are to nature, and how in 7 years, yes, I said the number 7 again, your entire body regenerates. Every single cell, every hair on its body, and everything that you see here is not going to be the same in 7 years. It's going to be a totally different body, because think about it. When you were 2, you didn't look like this, right? Your brain wasn't using the same tools. You have to actually use the tools at the moment you have them in the situation that you have, and you make your decisions. And that's it. You can totally take your wand, and I do this a lot, talk about clearing and what do I do? And I told you, if you don't have a selenite wand, you print a picture of selenite, or you draw a picture of selenite, or you call me and you private message me, and I will get you a piece and send it to you. I don't know about overseas. I don't know about that, but I'm willing to help anyone. Or I will take a picture of anything I have. Hi, Penny. And I will, send you the picture. Okay. My point is, I'm going to read out of this book. My videos always end up being so much longer than I intend them to be. I apologize to anyone who just doesn't have the patience. I love you too, Carrie Ann. All right. So now this is a book, of course, that was written around the 70s or 80s, like when I started really delving into all my stuff. So natural high quality selenite crystals possess one of the clearest transparency qualities found in the mineral kingdom. This degree of clarity reflects a pure beam of white light into an environment that the crystal is placed in. When selenite crystals are used as personal meditation pieces, they'll bring into conscious understanding one's own sense of inner truth. Therefore, selenite can be used to calm and clear troubled or confused states of mind. White's the color vibration associated with the crown chakra. Selenite can be used in meditation or crystal healings to actively be placed on the top of the head to stimulate brain activity and expand the awareness. Selenite symbolizes the clearest state of mind attainable, in which all thoughts entering the consciousness originate from the source and are direct reflections of pure spirit. And what is spirit? Spirit is you, and you are spirit. And so if you are spirit, you can communicate with spirit. So ask for what you want, and then clear intention. Be very meticulous in your words and what you want. Like, don't say, oh, I need $1,300. Like, no. Well, guess what? Maybe your uncle's going to die and now you have $1,300, but you didn't really want your uncle to die. And now you feel bad. And so that, there's always more than one way to look at things. There's more than one way to feel things, hear things, see things. That is why so much is lost in translation. So you have to be your own guide. You be your own skeptic. You be your own victim. You be your own rescuer, and you be your own Trust me, be your own healer. Carrie Ann. Okay. Some selenite crystals contain fine linear inclusions within the crystal. These thin striations are like the lines in a book that tell the story of the messages recorded within. These messages may be the Earth's own recorded history that selenite crystals have been exposed to. The records also may be data that have been intentionally projected and stored by ancient magicians and alchemists when their existence was being threatened. In those dark times when they were being burned as witches and driven away as heretics, they chose to preserve their knowledge, wisdom, chemical compounds, and all chemical secrets inside selenite crystals to be retrieved at a future time. They believed that at the right place and time, the right person would sense the treasures contained within, attune their mind to the crystal, and perceive the recorded mysteries. Does David Hopkins come to mind? They believed in this way, these masters of white magic could continue to carry on the teachings to deserving students who, by their own initiative, attunement, earned the right to receive the knowledge. So I want you to listen to those words, and I don't want you to interpret them any other way. In this way, these masters of white magic, okay, they specifically don't say dark because dark has a bad connotation, even though it shouldn't, because black holds every color, and it's the return white or the black. You decide, baby. You decide. Or use them both to ride the whole thing. Because selenite possesses the ability to record information, it can be used for telepathic communication by people of like-mindedness. This is for you, Carrie Ann. I know this is going to blow your mind. I thought of you when I read this. One person can beam a specific thought or message into the crystal, which the second party attunes to and receives it. This type of futuristic communication through thought transference could be used in cases where information is not meant for anyone else or when secrecy is needed. Working with selenite in this way helps one develop intuitive telepathic powers. In order for selenite to be used in this way, the crystals have to be exceptionally clear and cleansed after each projected thought. Yeah, I always take things to another level. Trust me. Go to 11, Nigel. Movies. So there's still a little bit more, but I want to go back to the clearing and cleansing after you utilize your crystals on other people or in a trying situation. You know, so many people are like, oh, wash them or put them in the earth and bury them for a week and do this and do that. Okay, I do very, very simple things, and I know they work. I've tried them, and they work. The fastest way, because I'll take on a lot of clients, and I'll need my crystals, I'll need my palm stones and my energy work. And the ones that work for me, I'm not going to use something else because I've got to do all these things because this person said I had to do it. No. You put them in the moonlight the night before the moon is extremely full, before it's at its fullest. I line them up on all my windowsills, but I only line the ones up that I know or feel intuitively need to be recharged or regenerated. You don't want to overpower your crystals, and you certainly don't want to put too many of them on your body as well. You want to do a limit of 7, and that's been recorded. Isn't that funny? The number 7 again comes up. Wait, it's backwards. 7. Crystals, I already told you that. So the moonlight, you can also put them in any running water that's cold. I prefer cold. You know, some crystals you don't want to put in water, like the selenite, and you know, there's tons of others. I'll talk about those on another day. My favorite way to do it is to use sound, because that's what I truly believe in. That's what I believe is vibration. It's sound. Vibration is the energy of all things. That's the chi. That's the ki. That's the prana. That's the heart. That's the oneness. That's the soul. That's the vibration. That's you. That's me. That's the universe. You know, whatever you want to call it. It is your lifeline. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry that I am not putting all of your stuff up here. It's so hard for me to look at both things at once and stay on target. And I hope I'm making sense and not reading too much. Corrado, hello. Good. Thank you, Norma. Thank you so much for responding to that. I don't want to second guess myself. I've had some people telling me, stop reading, just be yourself. But, you know, for me, I can't hold all that knowledge, and I can't teach the world. I put these out there, and I expect you all to write things down when I'm speaking. And then the things you write down, you take with you and you go research on your own, tangible research. You know, don't just Wikipedia the thing. Go find some books, and I guarantee you'll probably have some books right on your shelf that you gravitated to that'll have a lot of reference in there. You just start cross-referencing everything you already have, and that's why I'm here, to help you use what you have. You don't have to be like, oh my gosh, I need more money to go buy crystals so that I can have oil so that I can do this. No way, man. You got it right around you. I guarantee it. You know, and if you don't, there's simple ways for you to get it, to look around and get it. You can sell your craft. You can sell a lot of different things in your life to, I don't know, you know, shelter, food, all those vital things. You can figure that out. You can figure that out. All right, let me just finish reading a little bit about the selenite, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the oils and do a little meditation. And then I'll take some of your questions so I can focus on the screen and address anything you guys have questions about that I've spoken about. Let's see. All right, we were on the topic of ESP, which, you know me, break down the acronyms. I'm sick and tired of acronyms. LCD, liquid crystal display. Okay. MC, master of ceremonies. OMG, oh my God. Just threw that one in there because why not? So right now, ESP, extra sensory perception. It's not magic. I mean, not something out there. Yeah, it's kind of like the wind and the air that you breathe and the person inside of you that grows your fingernails and your hair. Like, you don't have control over that. That's nature. So my question is, and share this with anyone that you can, especially when they're in pain or depressed or believe that things are really bad and are full of fear. I really want you to make them conscious of what their body is doing. So explain to them, okay, you have a heart, right? And you're in pain and you're in pain and you're in pain and you're in pain. You send love to the pain. And then you use your other senses, you know, smell, touch, hear, sight, with your tools. You need your tools. You know, it's not made up. And things that are there. And we second guess ourselves. It's everyone's human. We do this. And we say, oh, maybe that person's right or that person's right. No, you have to listen to your inner you yourself. You trust yet verify. You gather your information and your resources and references from tangible, real sources. You put them into practice, and you do have to practice. You can't just be the best piano player and just by sitting at the piano or thinking, I'm going to do this, or take a course and get certified and not practice. It just doesn't work that way. I know you guys know that. So you tell these people, you're in pain. Yes, you're in pain. And this is terrible and that's terrible. But guess what? All of your pieces in your body, your entire blood, water, organs are held together with something. What is that? What do you think that is? It's you. You're holding it together, your heartbeat in your brain. So you use your heartbeat in your brain and you think yourself in the other direction. You have to do it. I did it. I'm proof. So back to the selenite, one person can beam a specific thought or message into the crystal, which is the second party attunes to and receives. This type of futuristic communication, which is funny because this was written in the 60s or 70s, this futuristic communication through thought transference could be used in cases where information is not meant for anyone else or when secrecy is needed. And here is written in the 60s, and why didn't we hear about it, people? The same reason they don't tell us we can heal our own bodies. I'm not going off on a tangent again. Working with selenite in this way helps one develop intuitive telepathic powers. In order for selenite to be used in this way, the crystals have to be exceptionally clear impressions of events that have happened in their presence. They can be used in cases where the truth of a situation needs to be known. For example, if a burglary has occurred in the presence of a selenite crystal, the crystal can be tuned into to discover who's committed the theft. That's really cool. Selenite is an important contributing member of the mineral kingdom and can be used as a touchstone for mental clarity and for developing telepathic powers, as well as appreciated for its inherent beauty. And you know, there's all kinds. Let's see what else I wrote down about selenite before we go off the crystals and go on to a different area. Yeah. Sorry, adjusting my beautiful Mexican dress. I got this in Valladolid, Mexico, which is a beautiful little town outside of Piste, which is near Chichen Itza. I love the Yucatan Peninsula. There's so much magic there. Mexico is one of my favorite places. There are cenotes, which are underground water rivers that are illuminated. Go into my favorite, my Eternal Crystal Oracle card deck by Jade Sky. She's a medium and she has awesome wisdom. And I also, I don't know about that cat mirror, but I do love Chichen Itza. I don't know about aliens. We're all aliens. Here's the selenite card. Isn't that cool? Crown, chakra, peace. And I don't plan these out. I'm just like, gee, I want to talk about the crown. And I always use selenite when I feel nasty about my crown or I need to ground because I'm way out of my head, when we're psychic or medium or intuitive, we get thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, and we don't go out in nature and we don't wear red and we don't eat the berries, the one red raspberry, and we don't do our grounding techniques and shielding. And then what happens is we're way up out of our head and we start second guessing everything around us and creating false scenarios that aren't there. And then fear comes, and then from fear comes dis-ease, and what comes from dis-ease, scarcity. And, we don't need to live there with everyone else. You don't need to search for your path and look for your journey and where is it and what is it. You're standing right on it. You're standing directly on your path at this moment in time. And all around you are the tools that you need to take one step forward. And, even if you just want to stand there all day and acknowledge your path, that's okay too. And that's what we're doing right now. We're nurturing our inner child, our 11-year-old self that was not sure and built its personality, and maybe something's still in there and it's inhibiting us from being the true one self that we are. I know that happened with me. A lot of my disease, and I was labeled with everything from psoriatic arthritis and Crohn's, colitis, uveitis, Hashimoto's disease. Oh my gosh, there's so many more. It's disgusting. I was on all these medications. I took chemo. I walked with canes. I just looked horrible and deplorable. And after I did everything I could in Western medicine and everything I thought I could do and what I had, I looked outside of the box. I stepped back and reevaluated. So, crown, stop thinking so much. If you think too much, think a little bit more. If you're too grounded, who am I sending that out to? Who am I sending out? The inner child. I know who you are out there, Erin. You need a little bit more of this because you're such a little kid. I love your childlike ways. I love everything about my Divine Directory tribe. Go to www.hopeevolve.com. Go see Quintessential. I mean, there's so many more of you out there, oracle healers, and I wish I could mention you all. I really, really do. I just know that I love all of you so much. So look at this, the lines in the selenite and how there's a figure back in there, and the figure is holding the purest of the white light and shining it directly down into their crown. Can you see that? That is beautiful. You take your selenite or your hands or your picture of your selenite or just your hands, and you visualize that pure white light coming down like selenite right into your head. And it says peace. Peace. Try to meditate, to quiet your mind, to raise your consciousness, and to create peace in your life. Create a safe and quiet space in your own home environment where you can go to clear your mind from any external pressure and relax. Remember also that you can quiet your mind anywhere, whether it's at work, school, on a bus, in the subway, on a plane, or in a busy restaurant. All you need to do is take time to consciously slow down your thoughts for a minute. Let the world carry on around you. Focus only on yourself and your breathing for a few minutes. As you breathe, affirm to yourself and the universe that peace and serenity to surround you today. Feel yourself attracting only positive light energy. See and feel all negativity disappearing from your energy field. And you know where your energy field is. It extends about, 2 feet in all directions around in protection, which I like to tell everyone about, which is your aura. So it's not like your energy is going to be sucked by anyone or taken away without your will. I don't like those terms, energy suckers and vampires, and you give it away. They don't take it, honey. You give it away. So stop giving away your protons. Keep them in your body. You need them because we got to play. When your mind is peaceful and clear, you can look clearly at situations in your life. You can connect with your higher wisdom and gain insights that can help you on your path. What did I just say? You're standing on your freaking path right now, right? Use your tools, use your senses, use your friends, use everything you have. Don't abuse them. Of course not. You use them in a way that serves them and you at the same time. We are the energy source of Mother Earth. Okay? If you're not on board with that, you're already disrespecting yourself. Some people don't know it. And that's where sometimes we get into trouble because we try and help everybody and we want them to hear us. And, we do everything we can. Why won't they hear us? Oh my God. But guess what? You can't teach people unless you have a student. I mean, fact. And wise people said that years ago. I think Rumi wrote that. Selenite is associated with your crown chakra. So I'm going to tell you this little story about comfort zone and how everybody's different and divine direction. Somebody asked me, what is divine direction? I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Carrie Ann, can you remind me about that? Let's go back to the safe space and creating a safe space for yourself. Because I know I've lived in a city, I've lived rural, I've lived everywhere. And literally your space is in your body. You create that space in your body. So between the person that is growing your fingernails and unconsciously, subconsciously doing things and thinking and dreaming, and the person that's actually acting and reacting to its energy that's coming in through its senses, there is a space. And it's up to you to clear that space and allow a nice for newness and love to come into you. And then therefore, it's reciprocity, it's yin and yang, it's a flow, it's an ebb and flow. And it continues throughout your life. Now, we're going to go into oils. I'm so sorry. I feel like this is taking long, and I really shouldn't apologize. I try not to use that word anymore, and I try not to use please anymore because it already puts out a negative connotation. All right, so I always have my diffuser on. I use different oils. Today I pulled out my doTERRA because I have a lot of people that are not feeling well, and for me personally, and it's just my personal thing, until I have perfected my own process of making my own oils, which I am doing, I use a lot of doTERRA because when I was really physically ill, I trusted this brand. It worked for me. So these are the oils. Cedarwood, it's my favorite, are the wood oils. Cedarwood. Balance. This is a blend of a few different oils. I'm going to read to you what the blends are right now. We have, of course, fractionated coconut oil, which you like to put in all your blends because you like to use them in roller balls and on your skin. And actually the carrier oil administers the essential oil into your cellular wall, and it aids it going into your fat walls too. We also have spruce, cinnamon, frankincense, my absolute favorite. And I have some blue tansy and blue chamomile. Now, some of these are really expensive and on their own, and that's why I like to get blends, because it's a good way to get them into you and in your system in a safe way that, you don't have to spend a ton of money all at once. And a good way to use your oils in the palm of your hand, rub it around, You make a little fist with a hole in it, place it in the palm. And just like, I don't know if you've drank wine before, but like when you do that aroma testing, you open your lips a little bit, because when you smell anything, you should do that, because your taste buds and your nose are work together. Your senses work together, and you get the full spectrum of the therapy and the aroma. And I always take the oil and I rub it through my hair, on my neck. Oils, they really don't stain. Maybe some of them that have different oils in them. Certainly rub it across your crown, through your hair. Some tips I have that if I want to carry it with me, I'll get a headband that's made out of leather or some kind of a material, and I'll put some on the headband and literally wear it on my crown. Like a crown. Also, I'll take a clip-on earring, the old clip-on earrings. I like to thrift shop and go to thrift shops and garage sales. And if they have a good stone in there, I grab them. And that's what I clip onto my headband. I put it right on my crown. I was like, whoa, an amethyst earring, poof, right there. And don't feel like you can only have to use like the selenite and the whites on my head. No, it's like this. So we're working in our crown chakra. So those of you who are always thinking, and you're the think, and I'm in spiritual mode, and I don't know, who my spirit guide is, and I don't know my path, and is this the right way, and do I do science or do I do psychic? What do I do? That's meaning in telling you don't have enough root below your heart. You have to add some things into the root. You need some dark stones. You need, basically whatever your intuition is drawn to. So back to the oils. Let's go to our frankincense. You know how much I love frankincense. I told you about the blend. I told you about frankincense. I use doTERRA. I use mountain rose herbs. I use aromatics. I use now sometimes in my diffuser NOW, as long as you're making sure that it is a pure product, and that their ways of farming and gathering the essential oil and utilizing the earth are sound and safe and up to standards, then by all means, branch out and test and challenge, because a lavender flower from France is going to give you a different effect than a lavender flower from upstate New York, flower from Africa. I mean, you just got to keep trying it and see what's good for you. So let's read a little bit. Oh, also, I want to tell you, a very reasonable oil that you can get is peppermint oil. Peppermint is amazing. I absolutely adore peppermint. It's like clear quartz to me. It's good for everything. Selenite too. It works on all your energies, all your chakras. It's a natural anti-inflammatory, a natural anti-spasmodic. Just yesterday, I have a friend who is a musician, and he was hurting super bad. He was having kidney stone problems in his flank. And so over the phone, we literally, and he lives in LA and I live in Georgia. Over the phone, he sat at his piano in pure pain. Now you have to do this. You can't just lay there. Oh, take away my pain. You take away your own pain, dude. So and if you're in so much pain, because I've been there, that it's thumping and pressing and thumping, you match it with your heartbeat. You feel them work together. You pull in the white energy from your crown, and you pump the love into that heartbeat. Poof, poof, poof. And you say, I love you, kidney. I'm so sorry you're hurting. I'm giving you all of the rest of the energy in my chakras right now at this moment to feel better. And we put had him put a quartz crystal on his piano and point it directly towards him. I had him rub peppermint oil on the exact area, knowing it's an anti-spasmodic and also works in that area. And he played and played. And I'm telling you, gone. By the end of our telephone conversation, and I checked on him this morning, pain-free. Believe in this stuff. Believe in your own power to believe. Okay, so frankincense. Frankincense is a holy oil for spiritual liberation and contemplation for achieving tranquility. It helps the nervous system and has been used effectively in many cultures and spiritual traditions for years. It has high levels of sesquiterrians. That's the word I was looking for. Sesquiterrians. Doesn't it sound like an important name for a person that, I don't know, is in charge of something? Well, no. It's a type of molecule that can cross the blood-brain barrier to oxygenate the pineal and the pituitary glands. So isn't it cool? I think I mentioned it earlier that there is a membrane that actually regulates within our body, and it just does it. So stop thinking so much. It's not like you have to go, oh my gosh, is that membrane doing what it should with the blood barrier? Oh my gosh, yes, it is. And guess what? When you think that way, is it doing it? Maybe it won't. But if you think the opposite way and you're like, come on, do your thing, it's going to do your thing. You have to encourage your subconscious to speak. Don't let your conscious mind, choke your subconscious dreams and realities. So remember, in the Bible, I hope all of you have read it. It's a really good book. There's a ton of versions. Just pick one that resonates with you. But in there's a lot of talk about oils and the laying of the throwing of the stones and predictions and, mystic stuff. It's really cool. It's totally in there. And what they used it for in the past is they would, you'd see the altar boys in the Catholic churches burning it. And, well, back then, everybody was riddled with plague and disease, and the only place they could go were churches. They didn't have these huge hospitals and emergency rooms and doctors everywhere. I mean, they went to sanctuary, where Quasimodo went, where everybody who was an outcast and abused and hurt and had nothing, they would go there to these safe havens. And I'm telling you, if you go to Europe today, it's still like that. It's amazing. Get out of your element. Get out of this country if you can. I know I'm very thankful, grateful, and privileged, but I work my butt off to do that every single day to enlighten myself and educate myself. So they would burn it in the churches. It is spoken about in the Bible. I mean, I think they brought it to Jesus Christ when he was a baby and born, one of the kings. Myrrh is another really good oil. So cedarwood, exception. In sesquiterrians, again, research shows that the molecule in cedarwood goes, I'm so sorry. Oh, my handwriting gets crazy when I'm writing because I am a channel writer, so sometimes it goes off and I can't read my own writing and I speak weird phrases. So basically what I wrote is it gives strength and stamina on a spiritual path, which we've talked about our path before. Native Americans use it to enhance communication with spirit and to bring energy to the universe. So yeah, energy to the universe is important. You can also, if you can't find essential oil or if you're in a place where you just don't have access to that, you can find the actual things that created the oil, like, cedar. You can go to the dollar store or even the grocery store, I think nowadays, and they sell those little cedar chips that you put in your closet. You can get those and you can just hold those and smell it. It's the same thing. You can put it on your crown chakra and, it's going to do the same thing. You can breathe that while you have your crystal on your crown. I mean, you just have to practice these things. There's so many times when I'm like, have you heard of this? Have you heard of that? And people are like, oh yeah, I have that. Oh, is that what you're supposed to do? It is. And I'm here to help you use all those tools and to make you remember that you are allowed, yes, frankincense. It's not really tree sap. They actually cut the tree and, from the slice. You can go Google this on yourself. And they collect that and then it's cold processed to a really condensed state. So really the essential oils, the plants are great, but you'd have to eat like a ton of plants in order to get what the essential oil of that plant actually carries. It's a concentrated version. Does that make sense? All right, let me get my tea here. Oh, I want to show you this cool stone. I just felt like I wanted to show you. I find a lot of my stuff, and in upstate New York, I go in the rivers a lot, and I'm about to go up there. And I found this. It's triangular. It's got cool striations in it of another stone. It just shows the metamorphosis of such hard substances. Mother Nature can move it in such a way that it can take the abuse, be marred, come back out a much beautiful item. It's like these two minerals work within your own body. Okay. One more thing I do as a ritual for you all is go into my favorite 1001 Meditations book. And this is written by Mike George. And I just wanted to read this because it made so much sense for us. Sacred circle. For each one of us, there are certain precious things, places, people, and practices that support us in being true to ourselves. For example, a park that you enjoy visiting, a dear friend who allows you to see yourself reflecting in the warm mirror of their love, a dance class that allows you to express your creativity and joy for life, a daily meditation practice that gives you time to be yourself. Spend a few moments considering these sources of joy, strength, and energy in your life. It's vitally important to protect these priorities. Visualize them within a sacred circle and promise yourself that you will do your best to protect that circle from outside threats. So it's not saying, to be super protective and not allow people in. It's to be more like the selenite, you let everything in and then you filter out what you want to put back out. It's like the prism that takes the light and refracts it, and it's all a part of one. We are the battery of Mother Earth. If we don't heal ourselves, there is no way that we can help heal Mother Earth. And actually, it's our responsibility to take good care of ourselves so that we can take good care of nature, plants, animals, and other human beings in order to improve the vibration of our Mother Earth. So I want you to go out there and be a kid today. I don't care who you are or what you are, or if you've done all these little kid things already. I don't know, maybe Erin, you need to get out there and go take out someone's garbage or do something grounding for yourself if you feel like you've been too much of a kid. I don't know. All right. I'm going to go look at some questions, see if I can answer some questions before I say goodbye and I love to all of you. Wow, yeah, you really got to go back far. Hello, Jane, Nikki, Norma, Renee. I feel like that lady in Romper Room. I see Nikki and Janie and Eddie and Renee. And all right, Norma. It's funny, yeah, the Bible talk. Aloha, family. Aloha. Eddie, are you in Hawaii? Yeah, frankincense. You don't have to introduce it to the body slowly. Not at all. No. It's extremely safe, Eddie. Watch. I do this every day. You move your tongue to the side. Drop under your tongue. You don't have to move slowly on that at all. I don't know where you got that, but that's wrong information. And if you want it to go directly into your cellular walls in 20 minutes or less, you put it on the bottoms of your feet. But yeah, it's completely safe. You do have to make sure you know who the product carrier is and how they actually made the product. Hi, Renee. Okay, so let's see. What is Divine Directory? You can go on Facebook and find that page. It's great, great safe zone for anybody who is actually in their spiritual head and mind right now. It's energizing. You get injections of love and inspiration and magic. It's wonderful. Let's see. Hi, Elise. I love you too. Mwah. Great writer out there. Elise Wilson just has a book out about human trafficking. Let's see. I don't have it right now, but she is a smart little cookie. Norma. Hello. Peace and serenity surround me today. That's beautiful, Katmere. Beautiful. And I love your last name, Stone. Hello, Erin. One love, Nikki. All right, I don't really see any questions. So if you, I love scrying, Katmere. Yeah, scrying. Scrying is like looking into the future and whatnot. I actually do use my obsidian too because you can see through it. Here's what I use, and I actually have two because I want to make glasses out of them. If you hold it directly up to your eyeball and look into the light and outside, it's see-through. Yeah, it's see-through. You can't see anything through it like this, but if you hold it directly up to your eyeball, try it. It's amazing. Katmere, let me know if you do that. I thought selenite was naturally not glass clear. It's not glass clear. It only appears that way when the light shines through it. It gets clearer. But yeah, it's kind of opaque. This is a piece that has a little bit of each. This is from the Midwest. So yeah, you can kind of see that it gets a little translucent, but it is still opaque. Where exactly on point? Keep up the good work, and you're right. Aw, thank you so much, Zaid. I love it. I love it. All right. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to say I love you so much. You can private message me at any time. I have a YouTube channel. I haven't really figured out how to upload my Be Live videos onto YouTube, but I'm also going to try and figure out how to YouTube stream live because I don't know. I just think it might be a solution to what's going on now with Be Live. I'm also trying to get away from that whole mindset where everyone has to pay for everything for a service. It just doesn't seem right. That's funny, Carrie Ann. 6th or 7th sense. Yeah, we do. We have 5 senses on our human body and a 6th and the 7th sense that's actually outside of our body. I actually think we have 10 of those, and they match meridians and energy levels within the body, but I'm not going to get too intense, too much for it. Yeah. So if any of you have questions for me, private message me here or talk to me any way you can. I'm here and willing to do anything I can to help you every single day feel better and do the best you can. And I want you to use all your senses to do that. Sabrina, I like what you said. There is no white or black. They are one and the same. Think of it as a sliding scale with a bar going up and down. It's energy, and the only difference is the density of it or level you go into it. Yeah, yes. And what I do know as an artist, you can all go look at the color wheel after I say this. So as an artist on the color wheel, you have white on this spectrum, and then you have black on this spectrum. And in the middle is everything in between. So it starts with, let's just take it apart. So, well, you can go look at it. There's primary colors, red, yellow, blue. So when you add yellow and red, you get orange. When you add yellow and blue, you get green. When you add red and blue, you get purple. So if you were to do that math, because that's really math, blue plus red equals purple, red plus yellow equals orange, you'll find out that it's the blending all becomes a spectrum of the rainbow. And you're right, it recycles right back to black. So you start out with white, which is a concentration of all the colors. It refracts out. Once it hits the energy and vibration, goes all the way through the senses of the body, keeps going, and it comes out and mixes, and it all mixes, and it turns black. So now we're in the black. So what do we do to get out of the black? We go back into the light. We go back into the light. It's, study some Mayan astrology about that, and that's kind of where we're coming out of in their culture. We've been in the dark for 2,000 years, trying to come into this rebirth of enlightenment, and it's so awesome and inspiring, and just lets you feel more in tune with the planets and crystals and the earth. And I think that everybody needs that. All right, my beauties. Carrie Ann, are you still there? Read for me again. I'm kind of tripping out slightly. Ha ha ha. Just let me know. Let me know what that was. I'll screenshot it for you and I'll send it to you. What's mine is yours. I know it's, we get a mentality where we're like, oh, I should have known that, or maybe I should go do my own stuff. No, this is our inner child asking questions, being skeptical, and taking the information in, filtering it, and you are your own mystic. You are your own healer. You are powerful. You are made of crystals. You are made of water. You are made of love and light. You have a heartbeat. So you have a spark within you that can shine brighter than anything on the earth. I love you. Namaste. Aho. Awen. As above, so below, and so it is. Aho. The spirit in me, honest the spirit in all of you. Until next week, I love you all.